Oh, g'day. Just putting on a jacket, starting to get a little bit cool. I'm putting on a jacket for the first time after this year. Starting to get a little bit cooler. Maybe a little bit cold, in fact. Just a little bit like the way people have been acting lately. People's been getting a bit cold, it seems. People acting a little bit cold with each other. Particularly while we have this full moon eclipse that occurred in the last 24 hours, along with the X-class solar flare that occurred a few days ago in the midst of a bunch of M-class solar flares. It's all coincidentally correlated. Now, why are we being cold to each other then? Is that what we've lived our entire lives for, to get to this point and being cold with each other? I think not. But what's going on? You know, we're challenged. Got my coffee coming along here. Well, this is going to be a beauty. And then, like, we put some walls up. See, I put this wall up around the... Oh, my moo-moo. Here's my moo-moo. Look at the look in her eye. She's got stress because she's got puppies. See, my moo-moo's got some puppies. Look at the look in her eye. She's got these almond eyes that are big and wide and bright and full of... Why? Because she's a mother and she's stressed. She's got a grandmother, little Thrazzle sweetheart, my baby, who's been stealing her daughter's baby, so stealing her grandchildren. But that's out of nurture. That's my baby Razzle. Good girl. So just making sure that Razzle didn't have a puppy in her mouth when she just going outside the door there. The things we've got to deal with in life, you know. Do you want to be cold to any human being? Especially the ones that you love. Especially the ones you love the most. Especially the ones closest to you. And can you love someone more than any other person? I mean, how does that work? Love is your life force energy, isn't it? Love is what you are. Love isn't something that you do. Love is what you are. So can you love me more than you can love anybody else? Can you love anybody else more than you love me? Because I'm a human, you're a human. So we are love. Life force energy is love. There's universal life force energy is love. So how does that work? Can you love someone else that is love, the embodiment of love, more or less? Or is it all just something that we have going on in our own mind, in our own perception, our own reality, that we make up our own truth about how the universe is and how life is and how this cosmos is? Excuse me, just got a plane coming over, excuse me. That gave me a great opportunity to pour my cup of coffee into my sparkly cup without having to look away from the camera. Yeah, I was saying here, got this wall here, put this wall here to keep the wind out, you see. All around here, cooking. So we put these walls up. So where I was going with that love is can you love someone more or less, or is it just because you allow someone to be closer to you? Then you allow someone to be closer to you, maybe you need to have some walls up. If so, are they to keep the wind out so that you can make a cup of coffee or cook your food without the gas blowing out? Or are those walls up for some other reason? And how's that serving you? You apologise for the noise over there in the background. No, there's a big puddle there. If it's flooded, forget it. Unless you're me. But yeah, no, seriously, don't go through flood waters. Unless you're me. And even then, don't do it. Yeah, so what are you doing in life? Are you loving? Or are you doing something other than loving? Are you nurturing and understanding, or are you doing something other than nurturing and understanding? Now, I myself might be accused of not being very nurturing and not being very loving, but it was love. I was given love. Just hard love. You know, love comes in the form of love. There's not different types of love, it's just love. So I've given you time of day. If I'm listening to you, if I'm talking to you, then that's love. If I'm giving you a kick in the ass, then that's love. If I'm giving you a slap in the face, then that's love. Heaven forbid if I ever give you a kick in the nuts, well, that's love. I don't need to have any walls up. Not like that. Or not like any other kind of wall. I can let people be close to me because I'm vulnerable. See, I learnt from the hippie movement in the 60s that the intellectual academic research and study that came from that was that it was found you can't really feel love unless you're comfortable with feeling vulnerable. You see, so I'm vulnerable. I'm a vulnerable snag, a super sensitive new age guy. And how do I manage to be such a snag? Well, it's because I'm comfortable with being vulnerable. And I have been for more than 10 years now. Comfortable being vulnerable, you see? And that's what you're going to do. Like, if you want to practice something for 10 years, then you start to get to a point where you're good at it. So I've been practicing being comfortable for 10 years. I've been practicing being vulnerable, comfortable with being vulnerable for more than 10 years. So I'm starting to get pretty good at it, you see. But then before that, I never needed those walls. I always was just love. And I appreciated everyone, and I just put up with it. See, it was like pretty hard, tough, right? So I can take a beating. And that plane could fall out of the sky and land on me and just bounce off me. That's how hard I am, you see? And I wonder why people need to put up walls if they're so hard. And if they're so cold with each other, what do they need to put up walls for? Why are they prickly? The harshest thing, or the worst thing that can ever be said to another human being that could upset another human being is the truth. It's only the truth that can really upset someone. You know, like I could call anyone here a name, and it's not true, so it doesn't matter. I could say to any woman who's listening to this right now, you're just like your mother. And sure enough, it triggers you. I know it triggers you, but is it true? If there are any women still watching now, then yeah, you are like your mother. You know why? Because you're born from your mother. Just like I'm like my father. And I'm like my mother. You know why? Because I was born from those parents. So I'm like them. And in every way that I vowed to not be like them, then I'm not like them, but I'm still like them. You can't escape that. Now, let's put that as an exercise to show, you know, like even if you have that trigger, then what's it matter what I say? Do you want to hate me for that? Do you want to be harsh and angry back at me? Well, you can be if you want. Doesn't affect me. Got nothing to do with me. It's all about you. I make it all about me by saying that it can't affect me. It's got nothing to do with me. Anyway, we've got some pretty full-on astrological events going on. Pretty full-on astronomical events going on. We've got some pretty full-on global events going on. We've got some pretty full-on economic events going on. We've got some pretty full-on lunar events going on. We've got some pretty full-on solar events going on. We've got some pretty full-on personal events going on. We've got all these transits going on. And they're with perfect accuracy, you see. Like looking at the crosshairs down the scope with computer modelling and computer targeting and all that kind of stuff. Perfect accuracy. Whether there's a full moon eclipse, or a change of season, or an equinox, or not. You have these personal transits that they have their effect on us, you see. We are the embodiment of love unless we make ourselves other than the embodiment of love. Now, starting to get a little bit chilly here in the southern hemisphere, and coming into the change of season. Late summer's kind of finishing now, and we're moving into autumn. In accordance with the moon, in accordance with Easter, in accordance with Ramadan, in accordance with... No, by the way, I went to the mosque last night with my mate Abdul Rahman to finish off the day, because we fast during the day during Ramadan, right? And so what they do is I was there on time, but then I was late still. It's just the way it goes. I'm always late for prayer. But anyway, so it turns out that they eat and then they go downstairs. They have this thing where they break the fast, and they go downstairs and then they pray, and then they go back upstairs and eat. Well, I missed that thing about breaking the fast. So then we did the prayer, and then they piled up 2 massive plates full of food. And then gave me all this fruit and all this food to take home. Oh, goodness gracious me, I'm full. No wonder they don't need to eat nothing during the day, because you eat that much at night time. But no, I didn't see Abdul Rahman or my mate Azan eat that much at all. And they're very healthy. I'm going to say Abdul Rahman is a very healthy looking bloke. And, since I'm talking about the mosque and talking about Ramadan and talking about Muslims and talking about Islam, if you're in Australia or you're anywhere in the world, there's Ramadan at the moment. If you're near a mosque, go down there. If you're interested in this stuff, you want to see what it's all about for yourself, rather than what you hear on the news. I heard that there was an attack in Russia the other day, and then that organisation claimed responsibility for it. Well, that's convenient, isn't it? Well, that's not that word. When you put that Islam in front of a word, in front of any other word, any other name, if you put that into a name, if it's not about submission to God totally, and peace and love, then it is not Islam. It's very simple, right? Very simple. And it's the same for every other religion, because religion is a direct focus to God by man. Okay, that's what it is. It's not a way to justify war, or justify attacks, or justify self-defense, or justify retaliation, justify violence in any way. Turn the other cheek. Buddha was teaching it, Jesus was teaching it, Lao Tzu was teaching it, Muhammad was teaching it, Abraham was teaching it, Moses was teaching it. You notice with Moses, like, he was a conduit for all these horrible things to happen from the God, but it wasn't Moses doing it. Moses didn't advocate to his people, come on, we're going to go and fight the Egyptians, we're going to kill them, we're going to engage in war. No. No. I'll just pause for the plane. So we got Ramadan, Lent, Passover, Easter, and then all the other festivals that were incorporated into it. So we can go rabbit hunting, we'll get some ground dwelling bird eggs, maybe get some chocolate from the gypsies. Who knows what all that stuff's all about. But anyway, non-violence, love, grace. Moses was teaching it, Abraham was teaching it, Jesus was teaching it, Muhammad was teaching it, Buddha was teaching it, Lao Tzu was teaching it, Gandhi was teaching it, and all the other saints and sages and all the Buddhas that have come and been an example and remain as an example for us, they're all teaching the same thing. Don't engage in violence. Don't be cold. Don't have your walls up. Be love. Express love. Feel love. Turn the other cheek. Turn the other cheek doesn't mean take the hit and then get up again. It doesn't even mean to let it slide off. Whatever, just turn the other cheek. I missed. Missed. Where am I? I'm right here. Where are you? You're out of place, reaching, trying to do it. I'm just here. Turn the other cheek. Oh, you missed me. Oh, you missed me. Oh, you missed. Oh, you missed. Once you're exhausted, I'll give you a hug. See if you want some food. But anyway, what I'm saying about the Ramadan there is, if you want to know what it's about, get down to the mosque. Get down there. Well, it gets dark about 6 o'clock in the part of the world that I'm in at the moment. So get down to the mosque about 5:45. And what you can do is you can go upstairs and break your fast, right? They give you a bit of porridge and a bit of fruit and a can of guava soft drink. Then you go downstairs and you do your ablution, and you wash your hands and your face and your mouth and your arms and your feet. And then get down, and then you go in and you participate in prayer. It's all in Arabic, so just go along with it. I don't know what they're saying, and I just have this thing recycling my mind, which I have anyway. Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, thou highest and purest source of good in the universe. Please be with all beings in the universe. Please be with me. Please fill me with grace, peace, love, balance, compassion. Give me the strength to remain compassionate and patient in a state of love for all beings in the universe. May all beings be filled with peace, love, grace, compassion, and empowerment. May the divine be with all beings in the universe, including me. And I see the whole world as a globe, all filled with light, and all human beings connected, all the beings on the planet connected, and then it all comes together with all this gooey, lovey light, like the light that we go into when we die, that light, and then it all transcends up, the highest and purest source of good. So that's why I did that probably about 1,500 times for the period of time it took for the prayer to occur there in Arabic. And then upstairs, excuse me, there's a particularly loud plane, this one. I'm going to have to write to the government because there's no point. That is a giant plane. Looks like it's going to Qatar. Well, if that plane is going to Qatar, it could take off that way. Not that way. It could go that way. And then once it's up in the air, it can turn around and go whatever direction it wants to go. It does not need to fly over the city. So yeah, I'll have to get on to the government about that one. And I'll write to the Qatar government as well. See, we know the Australian government was being petitioned to not let Qatar have more than 17 flights into the country. Because apparently they don't have a very good human rights record. Does anyone realise Australia's got an absolutely terrible human rights record? You know what Australia's done to the Aboriginal people of this country? It's genocide. It's one of the worst human rights atrocities on record ever in this civilization. It's like, you think Israel's bad? Well, look at what we've done to the Aboriginal people. We cannot say that we're better than Israel. Us Australians, we are not better than Israel. We're not better than anyone else. Whatever your creed, whatever your predisposition is, whatever your desire is, whatever you want, you can be a kind, warm, loving person. You don't need to be cold. And I'll beseech everyone to really try harder. Try harder this week. Obviously there's some pretty hard, harsh, conflict-orientated energy out there. Try harder. Be better. Love, kindness, grace, compassion, empathy, patience. Doesn't cost you a cent. Pays dividends. Have that one for free. Cheerio.